Okay guys, so we're gonna finish lesson 1 and 2, and we did 1 through 6 in class today. So I want you to go ahead and cross out 7, 8, and 9 here. Okay, and then go ahead and go to the next page, and we're only gonna do problems 1 through 6 here, and then you can cross out 7, 8, 9, and 10 as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with number 1. So again, we have to classify whether it's adjacent, vertical, supplementary, or complementary. So adjacent means that they share a vertex and a side. Vertical means that they intersect and they are across from each other and they are congruent. Supplementary means two angles that add up to 180 degrees. And complementary is two angles that add up to 90 degrees. Okay. So for number 1, this is actually 2 of them. This is adjacent, and it's complementary. Okay. For number 2, it's neither. Okay. For number 3, this is vertical, because they intersect, and see how they are across from each other and they're the same. This is 49, this is 49. Alright, for number 4, we have to find what x is. So first, I have to figure out what is going to go here. Okay, so I know that this right here, this is a straight angle, and they have to add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so if I don't know what this is here, I'm going to put y, and I know that this is 18. I can subtract 180 minus 18, and I get 162. Okay, so this is going to be 162. Now, I know that this also has to be 162, so I know that 3x has to equal 162. So, I can divide by 3, and x is equal to 54. Okay. Now, over here, we know that 42 plus 4x has to equal 90 degrees. So, if I subtract 42 first, I subtract 42 from both sides. 90 minus 42 is going to give me 48. So 4x has to equal 48. Then I can divide by 4. 48 divided by 4. So x is equal to 12. Okay? And these are actually complementary. Okay? Now, over here, we have vertical, so we're going to have 3x has to equal 117. Okay, so if I divide 117 divided by 3, x equals 39. Okay, now we're going to do the rest on the other side. This is a right angle. So it has to equal 90 degrees. So we're going to have 90 minus 52 is 38 degrees. So this is going to be 38 degrees, okay? Now, for number 1, it says, which one cannot be used to find the length of each side, okay? So if I know that this is x, and this is x, and this is an equilateral, okay, that means all of these are congruent, and all of these are congruent. So this is all equal to 60, 60, 60, okay? So, the only one that's not correct is letter D. Number 2, it says Jack has 35 pages to read. By the end of the day, he's going to read 15 so far. So, the correct answer is H. Number 3, Alan bought $10 to spend. He has $300. He bought a sandwich for $3.50 and a drink for $2.50. And we want to have how much he can have left to spend. So he cannot spend more than $10. It can be equal to 10, but not more than 10. So A is correct. Number 4. So if this is supplementary, that means they add up to 180. So 38 plus y has to equal 180 degrees. So F is correct. Now, for this one, we know that this is 90 degrees. Excuse me. Now, we know that 32 plus 90 has to equal something, okay? Now, another way that you can write this is something minus 32 has to equal 90. So C is correct. Number 6, the equation x plus 15 has to equal 24. So G is correct. For number 7, if it says 4 more than a number is at least 17, that means it has to be 17 or more. So A is correct. Now we're going to skip number 7. Go ahead. Number 8. Cross it out, but don't cross anything out here because we're going to do this actually tomorrow. Number 9. We have to find the solution. So if we have n minus 1/3 is less than or equal to 2 over 15. So I'm going to do plus 1/3 plus 1/3. So this is gone. So if I have common denominator, so I need to multiply times 5. So I get 5 over 15. So n has to be less than or equal to 5 is 7 over 15. And the last one, all we have to do, if it says 8 more nickels than quarters, so all I have to do is subtract 26 minus 8, and I get 18. Alright, let's do lesson number 2. Again, we went over problems 1 through 6 in class. Cross out 7, 8, and 9. And then on the back, we're going to identify each triangle by the angles and the sides. So this is equilateral and equal angular. So that means all the sides are the same and all the angles are the same. Over here, this is going to be isosceles. And acute. Number 3, this is going to be scalene. Okay. And obtuse, because this one is more than 90 degrees. Number 4, this is going to be isosceles and right. Number 5, this is scalene and acute. Number 6, this is scalene and right. Okay, number 7. Remember, the total has to equal 180 every single time. So, if we have 24 plus 36 plus 4x equals 180. So we're going to add 24 plus 36 first. And we get 60 plus 4x equals 180. Then we're going to subtract 60 on both sides. So 4x equals 120. And we divide 120 divided by 4. So x has to equal 30. Okay, over here, we add 71 plus 45 first. And you get 116. Then you subtract 180 minus 116. You get 64. And then you divide 64 divided by 8. You get 8. So x is equal to 8. Over here, we're going to add 90 plus 50 equals 140. Then we subtract 180 minus 140.
All students should be outside at this time. For parent pickup, it's 3:46, so all students should be outside at this time for parent pickup. Thank you.
So 180 minus 140 is 40. Divide by 5, and you get 8. So x is equal to 8 again. Over here, we have 2x plus 2x plus x equals 180. So if we add 2 plus 2 plus 1, that's 5x equals 180. Then we're going to divide by 5. X is equal to 36 degrees. Over here, we're going to have 90 plus 18 is 108. 180 minus 108 72. And then we divide 72 by 8. And you get 9. So x is equal to 9. For this one, we have 7x plus 3x plus 90 equals 180. Okay? So 7 plus 3 is 10x plus 90 equals 180 minus 90. So 10x equals 90 divided by 10. X is equal to 9. Okay. All right. Up here, if it says that angle D is 8 degrees greater than F, so we're going to add 35 plus 8 is 43. So this is 43. Now we add 43 plus 35. And we get 78. Then we subtract 180 minus 78. And we get 102. So x is equal to 102. Okay. Number 1. Again, we add 110 plus 30. And we get 140. Subtract 180 minus 140. And we get 40. So the correct answer is B. We're going to skip number 2. Just cross it out like this. Don't do anything here. Number 3. This is isosceles. Okay. So if A is 72, this is 72. What is B? Well, this has to be 72 as well because isosceles means these two are equal and these two are equal. So 72 is your answer. Number 4. This is a equal angular. And it's also an equilateral. So each of this is 60, 60, 60. All right. So the only one that doesn't make sense is H. Number 5. It says if this is 50 up here, how much is this? So we're going to subtract 180 minus 50. And we get 130. Then we're going to divide 130 by 2. And we get 65 degrees. So this is 65 and this is 65. Okay, we're going to skip number 6 and go to number 7. So if we have 6, 8, and 13, that is scalene. Okay. Number 8, okay. We have to go ahead and add. Which one is the shortest? So if you just look at it, obviously this one is the shortest right here. So letter C is correct. Make sure you change it because it's actually incorrect on here. So letter C. Number 9, it says if A is 45 degrees, this is 45, and A and C are equal, so these are equal to each other, that means it's isosceles. That means this has to be also 45 degrees. So if this is 45, then this has to be 90 degrees because they all have to equal. The total has to be 180 degrees. So the correct answer is J. And number 10, last one. Which one does not equal 180? So if I add this, I get 180. If I add this, I get 180. If I add this, I get 200. If I add this, I get 180. So which one's the one that's wrong? All right, and that's it. Make sure you copy everything down and bring it tomorrow.